everybody, it's Dr. Sachs. I'm back with more Ravendawn this morning. I just had some eggs and hash browns here at the local tavern. And now I've got to wander out. I got into some shenanigans off stream last night where I was in my boat, got bored. I was like, you know what, let me just explore a little bit. And so I went over to some islands that I haven't been to before. And yeah, things got interesting. Ran into some pirates, some NPC pirates that I didn't even know were a thing. And there's like a little mini game where you get into fights with them and blow them up, or they blow you up, and rinse and repeat. So I've got a thing here, Pirate Plunder Purge quest. I'm hoping that this will... Oh, I also got another one, a quest line called The Cursed Crew. I'm hoping that this leads me to get some parts for my boat, because it is kind of a shanty, not a very good looking piece of equipment. And you know, especially if I get stuff for free, right? Let's face it, I'm a broke. I got 3K silver in my backpack right now because I went ahead and made upgrades on all my gear. I used all my imbuments, or whatever you call it, infusions, imbuments, same thing pretty much. And got the gear happening to a pretty high degree. I guess Celestial is good, this pink color, whatever, and Arcane is just the next level below that. So need to get some more infusion materials and just keep throwing them into the gear till everything is a shiny pink color. And I don't even know what's after that. But I don't think I have anything to do here. I just came back to the cell and log off last night. So let's get in the boat and we're heading out. I guess I'll go around the north bend here. Kind of chill. I guess my ship only has 800 health points. Fewer than I have on my character, so that's kind of scary. I hope the game actually adds more small islands eventually. That would be nice. Maybe islands where you can throw down a small house, that kind of thing. The more the merrier. Supposedly they're going to be adding lands soon in a patch. I don't know. We'll see. Because that's what I've been saying they need to do. I'd be very shocked if they do it quickly. Because my time in streaming, as I talked about last episode, this game will be cut back as of Monday coming up. There will be less of this on the stream. It won't go away completely, and I will be playing it in the background even if I'm not on stream with it, in hopes that one day they will make enough changes to the PvP environment that it will actually be my flavor more than it is now, and you'll see some exciting stuff happening in the game world. But you know, there's only so much PvE that I can handle in a open world where there's multiplayer. I want player conflict, and I want it to be balanced and meaningful and all those good things. So anyway, you've heard me rant about it. If you watch my stuff, I won't get into it again, but hopefully most of you agree more than disagree. Oh, Skeleton Raider. I've never seen these guys before. And that's another thing I'm not a big fan of, is the fact that I can't just land my damn boat on the beaches. That sucks. I think they should make it so that you can land and get off your boat, and the boat maybe remains if there's no dock. So that way it's at some risk, maybe, and that would be balance. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. I'm just saying, if they have an excuse for not letting us land our character along the world, then I'd like to hear the excuses. Like, these are cliff faces, so that makes some sense. And I guess also I'd like them to make it clear why my boat slows down. I go, oh wait, I see it now. Okay, there is a wind. There is windage in this game, but you don't notice it because it's this little tiny. You see my mouse cursor up here in the very top right above my avatar? That's the mini map that I'm covering up with my avatar. So right there, you can see there's an east wind. Okay, so it's blowing east. Right now I'm heading into the wind, so it slows me down. I think. Is that how it's operated? It looks that way anyway, from the there's a little windage graphic there. Oh, no, it doesn't change. What the heck? Okay, so that, well, so the graphic is meaningless, so. I don't know. We need an actual windage graphic in the game. More like Valheim. Because I was getting frustrated when I was fighting those pirates, and before I realized there is windage in this game. And that is a continuing issue with the developers and how they implement stuff in the UI. There are so many layers that are kind of out of mind, out of sight, or hidden almost completely until you realize they're there. I'll give you another example. Professions. Did you know there's passive skills that are a thing? Well, you may not, because you didn't notice this little button down here. Instead of having the passive skills appearing right here. And if I press this tab, for instance, and I close the window, it disappears again instead of staying the way I had it, like this, so that when I open it up, it's always there, and I don't forget about it. Now, I don't know exactly when I earned my first passive point, but at some point I did, and I finally threw it into my passives tree for mining. So mining will be slightly less painful. Yay. Anyway, I'm trying hard to look past the shortcomings and live for the day here in Ravendawn. The ocean sounds are a little staticky, huh? It's just constant drone. All right, so now we're heading into this circle here, which means there could be pirates ahead. Yar. And I don't know if my ether bubble means anything, but I'm noticing I've only got 30 points in it. How do I get more points in it? I guess by shooting my gun, maybe? You can heal, you can repair your boat. It's faster if you're out of combat. And actually, I want to head to this cursed crew area. There's some trolls in the middle of that island, apparently. Harbor Island. Which isn't in Tampa Bay, by the way. There is a Harbor Island in Tampa Bay, Florida. How do I know that? I used to live in Florida. I'm not seeing any pirates. All right. Now, where can we land? Right up here, I think. All right, ahoy. So, I have not taken a look at these trolls, but they probably look like every other troll, so let's go see what we had to deal with here. And there is another quest up here, restoring. There are also some villainous, unfriendly pirates hanging out in this piratey town right here. Port Rotuga. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Oh, player housing over here. What's this quest line? It is nighttime in the game, but you could hardly tell. Another complaint that I have.
This is unusual.
What is unusual?
I'm sorry, I was just thinking aloud. But since you're here, do you happen to know anyone interested in a small job I have to offer?
I'm always interested in jobs as long as they pay. I guess he ran out of words. This is wonderful. Before anything else, let me introduce myself properly. I'm August Husky, naturalist and friend of the animals, as some call me. I'm Lord Vendetta. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure indeed. Well,
oh, he's got his words back.
Tortoises and their habits for a while now.
Ah, the tortoises.
Recently, something strange caught my attention. They're becoming quite aggressive and threatening. Not exactly. They've always been territorial, especially inside Turtle Shell Hills, where they lay their eggs. But lately, their temper has changed significantly.
Okay, let me guess. I need to help.
Well, first of all, I must examine some of their eggs. If the explanation to this behavior is related to their eating habits, the eggs will provide the evidence I need. I just ask you, adventurer, do try to avoid unnecessary...
Forgot my name already.
We don't need the tortoises to become even more aggressive.
Okay, I'll try.
Unavoidable fights, but I'm just concerned you'll become part of the reason the tortoises are so agitated. Very well then. The tortoises always make their nests near shallow water. Gather 5 eggs so I can study them. And please don't take more than 1 from each place. Otherwise the mother could abandon the nest.
Okay. Are we talking about... Oh. That's weird. Why aren't they near the ocean? They must have some underground throughways to the ocean from that lake or something. Who knows? But we're not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to wait till I have a bounty for turtles. In fact, probably should have gone to see if I could get a bounty, period, but I forgot. It's fine. With my luck, we wouldn't get trolls anyway on the bounty. I see the turtle bounty come up all the time, though. Anyway, not going to be doing a whole lot of Ravendawn this morning. Just got to grind, so I figured, why not? We'll do it. Oh, somebody's up here fighting off over Crystal. There's the trolls. Are we at peace in this area or not? Probably, because everything's peaceful in this game. Yep. Ooh, I see orange. Okay. Could have some fights on my hands here. Oh, definitely. See how I fare against something 6 levels above me. Don't be running away on me again. Oh man, they really got to fix this. They've got to fix this. Pay attention to me. I'm the one poking you with the pointy end of my blade. Okay. Let's take... is this working? Okay, there's a new bug. I sent them a report about it last night. I've been drinking my landing brandy, and there's no buffage happening up here after the last patch. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and have a loaf of bread and fries. Do those work? I'll put off on my blade here. Hey, Bloody. The community housing yet? No, is that in the game? I didn't even pay attention to the patch notes or whatever. You can get 5% experience boost. Nice. I will check it out at some point, I guess. I have to admit my my excitement for Ravendawn has kind of gone down a couple of ticks. So until they fix PvP and pump some energy into that aspect of the game, I'm going to be kind of... Oh, here we go. Alright. Now I'm supposed to be looking for the entrance to the troll cave, I guess. Oh. I was not expecting a third. Thank you very much. Close. This is in the community farm. Okay, so what's the... Oh, you're just talking about the community. So that's where they put it, huh? The little square to the right of the farm. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they'll add more lands. Was that true that they're going to add more lands that somebody told me? Was it you that told me that? All right, where's that big boy? Here, come here, you. Brawler. I've never seen a brawler until today. Huzzah! I really wish my brandy was working. Maybe it is working, it's just invisible, but there's no buff when I click on it. There's a stairway. Somebody's fighting up there. Not you. You don't know about the Night Lands? Okay, well, maybe it's not happening, but who knows? Hopefully it will. Oh, goodness. Level 30s, no joke. Ouch. Yeah, I better go upstairs. That's a little rough, even for my dude. Plus 6 levels, 2 of them at a time. Yeah, if I'm not getting my mana regen and health regen, that is a problem. And I'm not even using, like, expensive stuff here, so... Here, let me slap another stone on to my shield. Elden Ring later today after lunch, as promised. What does it say? Ask Chieftain Mug about the troll artifact. So after I kill all his trolls, I got to talk to the chief. I'm sure he'll be really happy with me. What the? Okay. The poppage is still too fast. I really would love to have a chance to talk to the developers about this. I don't like, and have never liked, mobs popping on top of me. Ever. All right, I'm just going to go down again. Oh, okay, nice. Waiting right at the base of the stairs. Oh, why did I press that again? They hit hard, damn it. Might. Yeah, I don't run cookie cutter builds. I run my own stuff, so don't be surprised if something confuses people when they watch me. Primarily Might, but he's a hybrid build. Yeah, they got some aggro range, huh? From the aggro range is farther than my range of my abilities. Oh, and there's that damn pop again. That's just garbage, man. I'm sorry, but that is garbage. Yeah, I don't like that. Nope. Not a fan. Can't kill me, but it's time to get sloppy. But that is annoying. Come on now. I mean, the pop meter there was like on less than a minute. 2 minutes. 2 minutes tops. Which is just not needed. I guess I'm not going to go down in there yet. Not at this level. And not without my damn branding working. If the buffs aren't working, if they're bugged, I'm not going to go risk myself down there just to waste my time. Just grind a good EXP, or at least. Although, to be honest, I'd probably be better off just going to kill the sharks on that little island I was at earlier yesterday evening. Oop. Yeah, these are definitely deadly if I'm down in the caves and I have those pops happening. Yeah, we're out of here. Let me go kill some more sharks. What's up, Joker? I don't care if stuff's harder to make. Have you seen what I'm doing here? I'm effective level 24. I'm fighting 30s in groups and killing them. Build's working. Hex Blade. I know everybody's using Shadow. I use Shadow. I've had the Shadow build and all that stuff. Frankly, I don't think that that is viable as people think it is. In PvP, you're going to get ganged and destroyed. You're not going to have enough durability. But since I can't PvP very often yet, haven't put it all to the test. That's why I'm fighting mobs. They're higher level. All right, let's go to the dock. How the heck do I get to it? Here we go. Boy, Captain. And they need to put a windage meter here at the top of the screen. Not this little stupid icon that I barely even noticed over here on my mini-map. So the minigame with the pirate boats is kind of cool. Hopefully I'll get something out of it. Yeah, these guys are perfect for me to grind on right now. There's nothing but a prison on this island, I guess, that I'm not allowed to go into. And then there's something else, some lizard man or something in a cave, and he won't talk to me. But these guys will talk to me with their swords and gnashing teeth, and they drop some decent trash. And I go through them pretty quickly. See, this shield right here, the shield ability is awesome. Don't leave home without it. Because you guys are watching, I'll show you my build here in a second. I figure, why not show my viewers? All right. So warfare, spiritual, witchcraft. The key to this is the dots, and I've got the Bloodmancer synergizes with any other dots that I get over here with the warfare. And then I've got the barrier, which is about the only thing I really care about right now from spiritual. But this has also got a nice passive down here eventually that I might like to get. Celerity, which reduces all skill cooldowns by 10%. And then I'm going to throw on Bloodbath and Bloodseeker eventually as I go deeper into this tree. I probably want to get Fierce Leap because I want to have movement abilities for PvP, which is, of course, why I have Bull Rush. And then Savagery and Bloodlust make me very tanky and synergize with my crit build because obviously I am a crit build. I wear full leather gear to get the full leather bonus, and I also carry a dagger. And when things get hot, I pop that for an additional 15% critical chance. And when I get below 30% chance, I get an additional 20% crit chance from Bloodlust. So even when I look like I'm about to die, he starts to go ham and heals that much more. And then I've got the Tentacles, which when I've got enough dots on things, I fire that off. It gives me a decent heal and does damage. But, yep, that's just at effective level 24. I'm taking on up to 6 levels above me without an issue. Anything on here is just a cakewalk at 26, 27, 28. Same thing with the cave spiders. So I can get into oranges without much of an issue, and the experience is pretty good, especially with my rested EXP. So there you go. I mean, I don't like to grind. I like to make things work smarter, not harder, right? So I'm pretty happy with this build. And I've got my other character, which will be my mage in base stuff. That way I don't have to keep screwing around with, oh, let me buy different types of armor and waste tons of money on the auction house because I'm a poor boy. So that way it's frugal and expedient, right? So just concentrate on stuff that balances out with my might statistic on this guy. And then the opposite over on my mage. Now, I really want to fight some archers and some casters in PvP so I can see if the tankiness is overdone on this and I need to go more into offense. But I think it's a pretty good balance right now. And from what I've seen, I mean, the archery is OP, so they're going to kite the hell out of me. But if I have enough movement eventually on him, I should be able to close the gap often enough to get off some big burst damage, which is why I'm crit, right? So I may not always be able to hurt player that's kiting me, but when I do, he's going to know it. And of course, then there's the dots too, which is another big reason to go hybrid. So even if they are running away from me, I can still hit them with dots, and that's going to heal me. So it serves two purposes, making me that much more difficult for him to kill while he's constantly taking damage from me. And then I've got the barrier, which again, it just mitigates damage no matter where they are. I think it's going to be a pretty viable build. You can see all the little green heals going off. But give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think. And this is a pretty nice spot to EXP. It's pretty out of the way. Nobody bothering me. Another trick, because Curse is on such a low cooldown, you got multiple opponents, I just go through each opponent, smack each one of them with a Curse, and I'm healing off each one of them. So even against groups, it's actually not as... It's actually almost an advantage sometimes. Okay, let me watch. Then I hit the barrier, build up my ether, fire off a big hit. Actually, I'll probably, if I had my lethal edge up, I would pop that first, then use one of the big crits. Hopefully get a big crit off. There's my big heal. Barrier's back up. Pop him with these again, then hit him with tentacles. He's dead. I'm full health. And all that without protection or holy. So I'm constantly doing damage when I'm healing. Just kind of the point. Yeah, like now I'll go ahead and fill my bubble up. Then hit my crit bonus, then pop him with one, and it didn't work, but I hit another one. That didn't crit either. Oh well, but he's dead. Enough base damage. Also, I got the deep cuts, so... Savagery, deep wounds. Critical strikes apply deep wounds to the target. Deep wounds deal 6 weapon damage to the target every 3 seconds for 12 seconds and heal you by 15% of damage dealt per stack. So obviously that synergizes with Bloodmancer. It's another dot. So it's like you have to take it. It's like a no-brainer for this build. Now on the bounty board, there's a nice necklace that I'm going to get that's going to give me more crit chance. So got to keep getting that crit chance up any way I can. Took a little too much impact on my gear, but it's basically based on economics. Couldn't be picky. I'm getting 685 plus EXP off each one of these. I've got this Blade Storm I can hit when there's more than one opponent. There we go, finally. Hold on a second. I've got some coffee going cold over here in the regular mug. And it's cold. Damn it. Here comes Shark Face. So has anybody been seeing any PvP of note at all in the game, or is it just peace all day long? So far, the only PvP I hear about is around mining nodes. In the higher levels, I guess. Smash. Wish we had a DPS meter to keep track of something like that. Somebody make an add-on? I wonder if they'll ever do add-ons in this game. You can also do some fishing off of the shore here, but the stupid sharks interrupt your fishing. Because they pop so fast. Ha ha ha! Isn't that amazing? Oh. I don't know. I don't have my brandy working, so risky, but I could always run to a stairway, I guess, or to that cave over here. All right, we're gonna do this. Wish I had a bounty for these things. Okay. Hello. They're fairly equal level to me at the moment. Okay, oops. Let's move over here a little bit. Can't even see myself. Crit. Actually surprised there were 23. Let's fire off the AoE. I'd say it's tanky enough. I mean, the rate of killing, it seems to be decent too. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Fast enough? Consider I'm not using AoEs. Boom. 11K for bags. Like 2/3 of a bubble there. Not bad. What did we get here? Oceanic tier, 140 silver. Nice. Never seen that before. Low quality booze. That must be from some of the pirates. Trollish rock spike, 90. Oh, are you actually gray to me? Oh, 17? Where'd he come from? That seems out of place, doesn't it? What I would really like to see is PvP where you actually get rewarded, you know, EXP for the fight based on level differences. So if you kill somebody that's lower level than you, you're not going to get practically anything. You know, they could easily put a thing in place that creates incentive right from that alone, right? You don't even have to get anybody's loot or whatever. It's just based on the challenge rating. You know, kind of similar to how things work in World of Warcraft for the faction system for ranking up. You get more points for killing somebody that's more dangerous. Isn't that the way it used to work? I'm pretty sure. Towards your standing on the horde, etc. Yeah, the honor system. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. So why don't they incorporate something along those lines here? It's not hard. You know, you can't have everything in the game being just about, oh, someone stole my mining node. So that's why I'm going to attack them now. We need factions or incentives of other kinds so that people will actually play roles in the game and want to fight and enjoy the fights and get rewarded for winning the fights. It couldn't be more basic. As long as you got PvEers running around that just want to game the system and want to profit in real life from it, which is I'm already hearing all kinds of information about that, where you've got some guilds that float from game to game and they ruin the games because they profit on eBay and or wherever they sell their crap. You know, they're going to dominate in a game like this where the devs unfortunately have put polls up and listen to the player base. Oh, does the player base want an easier time of things? Nazori was laughing about it last night, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was watching. They were listening to the devs. I guess one of the devs had a podcast up or something, and he was taking live questions and found out that they poll the community, and that's how they've made some of their. And it's like, dude, you cannot poll the community. The community will always vote for what's easiest. And if you have PvP in a game, You will never get good PvP polling the community. They will always lie to you, especially if they are making money off of things. You're going to have a big group of them that will tell you all kinds of garbage because they know, okay, wait, we have to have it a certain way in order for us to be able to get our silver selling, gold selling thing going or whatever, you know. Games are not supposed to be for making money for players, is my point. But you have groups of people that exploit these games and ruin the games for us that have always been there, and they're here in this game. So just be aware. Doesn't take them long. I'm always amazed how quickly they gravitate to every type of MMO. It's just, there's no getting away from them. Like ticks on a dog. Well, if you want to keep things calm at the outset so you don't scare away new players, I can understand it to a point. But PvP out in the outer realms of the world should get progressively more common, and it should get progressively more incentivized. That's fine. I mean, they can keep the players that they're going to get, but like I said in the chat on Azori's, you're going to keep certain players, but you're going to lose players like me. I'm not going to stick around. I get bored real quick doing this. Because, I mean, PvE is nothing to me. It's like, oh, wow, I got mobs to kill. Jeez. So hard. Once I figure out the system, pretty much hamburger. Same thing will happen in Elden Ring, too, believe it or not, if I keep playing it. Even though I don't like the roly system. I won't sit there and be a chump for much longer. I'll just play the game my way, go around, figure it out a path to victory, and then that'll be another one in the side pocket eventually. But this game's got me thinking, I mean, I might actually play Ultima on stream at some point. If I can stomach that learning curve again, because it's been years since I played, and I'll have to relearn all the tools and toys that I was using for the old client. But hey, who knows? It just might be a nice learning experience for everybody if I run something on like Second Age, or there's another one I just came across. I forget the heck the name is. I'll look it up here when I get to the safe area. Because I wanted to tell you about that, Bez, actually. I don't know if you'd looked into it. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me go in here for a sec. There's another server you might want to check out. I don't remember if I'm on it or not, or if I've ever played on it, but it sounded promising. Let's see. What was it called? Bookmarked it, I think. Lost Lands. uolostlands.com. Yeah, check that one out. Might be worth a look. It's not pure Second Age, but it's 95%. And then they do a lot of their own events. It just sounds like they add a lot of nice, balanced events to the game. Seasonal events and all kinds of different stuff to keep it fresh. So, but if it's very close to Second Age, and they do that, I don't see any real harm. Might be really good. that's good. I want Elden Ring to have OP weapons and stuff. That's the whole point. It's an open world. I don't want to play some stupid Souls-like where I got to sit there and do this cringy, oh my god, I got to try hard all day long and fight this mob 25,000 times till I'm victorious. That's not my idea of fun. I'm not a masochist. You know, other people can enjoy those kinds of games. There's a reason why I never really dove into Souls-like. I'm not a masochistic player. I don't like dying, period, in games. It triggers something in the back of my cerebral cortex. I guess it's because I used to play games like Ultima Online where it was full loot and I'm running around as a solo all the time and I'm fighting multiple opponents and having to like get away and or kill them. So when I die, I freak. Like triggers PTSD or something. So I don't enjoy games like these Souls-like where people just die over and over and it's like a groundhog thing. To me, that's not fun. I'm not having a good... That's why I got so salty in that stream a couple times, because I'm just like, I don't like that stuff, man. Some people love it. More power to them. I'm not that kind of guy. What video is this which you speak? The 7-8 minute last epoch video. Did you link me something? I didn't see it. Might have been in a comment or something. Maybe I missed it. But I've watched some stuff recently about... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can't go in here. That's right. He won't let me in this. It's like I'm not allowed in this thing. I got to find some earring or something. This must be some quest. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess once it's ingrained into you as a gamer to win, like the idea of dying is just kind of like synonymous with failure. So, yeah, not my idea of fun. But you have to learn to accept it, of course, in an environment where it's like Ultima Online was, where death was inevitable. You're going to die. Same thing with like Project Zomboid. I love Project Zomboid. I don't get all bent out of shape when I die. I accept it. Unless it's some cheesy death, which happens. I had one time I died to a zombie that was, I couldn't see it. It was out of view. It was in a freaking storage crate or something, and it killed me. And that sucked. Or when you fall off of a rooftop because of a bug or something and die. That sucks. But other than that, if you have a, you know, a death that is an honorable death, I can accept that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with PvP. If it's an honorable fight, it's a good fight, I don't mind dying. I don't mind getting looted if the fight's worth it. Because that's the fun. That's, you know. Sure, it stings for a minute, but, you know, you get back up. Now, when people exploit you and steal your stuff, like they did to me in Ultima, then you get pretty angry. Or if you have a patch that came in, like when I was a musician, and they patched the damn server in Ultima and didn't give us enough warning, and I couldn't race home fast enough before somebody had stolen the key off my vendor and looted my house of all my thousands of reagents that I had won in combat with different people for like months. Yeah, then you get really angry and you break your UO disc in half and you quit playing. So that's a true story. Especially when you're looted by people that are supposedly your friends or your guildmates and or people living right next to you. Who go, oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah, right. Sure you don't. Sure you don't know what happened. There'll always be those kind of players too. Turn-based games, yeah. I like turn-based games. Actually, I was watching, there's a cool turn-based Warhammer 40k game that I didn't even know about. That looks so close to tabletop. Like, that might be the closest I actually come to playing the tabletop, because I don't have the time for the tabletop, so... But they don't have Imperial Guard. What? So until they get the Imperial Guard faction, I'm not going to buy that one. forget what it's called offhand. I just saw it yesterday, and it's like, my memory sucks for stuff like that. Terrible for names. Never forget a face or musical phrase, but I can't remember a name to save my soul. Now, Mechanicus looks cool, but this is different from Mechanicus. This is like a tabletop fight, basically, like almost to the T, the way it's laid out and set up. They have quite a few other factions in. They just added Tau, apparently. I think the game came out in 21, so they're still adding factions like here in 24, so that bodes well. But no Imperial Guard is like blasphemy. How could there be no Imperial Guard? What the heck are they thinking? Yeah, there's a lot of good Warhammer-based games out there. They've really, in recent years, really upped their overall quality levels as far as who they pick to develop games for Games Workshop. When I just heard that Henry Cavill might be cast as Captain Britain in the MCU, I think that's pretty hilarious. Rub DC's nose in it a little bit. I'm a big DC fanboy, but DC can't seem to get the damn movies right. And MCU has gone complete woke in recent years, so I think they're going to do everything they can to kind of right that ship right now, and getting Henry Cavill as Captain Britain is like a no-brainer, so we'll see if that actually happens. He definitely got signed to something, but people don't know for sure if it's Captain Britain, but it seems like that would be the logical play. Yeah, it's like the Total War Warhammer stuff. It's like, I can't really recommend it to people easily because it's a very complicated war game. And the control scheme takes a lot of getting used to, but it's an excellent game. I've yet to stream, actually. Mainly because it's just, I have to really gear my brain around it, and I'd have to marry it for at least a couple of weeks to get anything happening with it. Stream several episodes. I don't know. One of these days, maybe. I'm just not in the wargaming frame of mind lately. I mean, I could possibly just grind my way to 30 on this island. I should get bounties, though. And I should probably go check the bounty board actually right now. Maybe kill some pirates. Oh, there's a bounty board over there in Harbor Island. Is that the closest one? Actually, either way. I hate this Echo area, actually. I think I will go to Harbor Island. Easier. We'll pass through the pirates on the way. I really wish there were more auction house areas and or banks in the game too. I don't like how everything is so centered on the one capital city. So heavily. Played it for a week. Stopped enjoying it. Don't really like tweaking difficulty settings. Yeah. Dark Souls and Elden Ring at least have one difficulty setting, so you really have to master the game. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not that into it, I think, for whatever reason. I try to be, but I can't lie to my audience. I can't be like, I like this. We'll see. Maybe as I get deeper into Elden Ring, and if I take it like a little more casual, like I intend to do today, and I just roam around the world more and worry less about the bosses and more about balanced fights so I can get some gear, then I'll feel a little different. As long as I'm just enjoying it, that's the thing. I just want to have a little more fun when I'm playing it. I don't want to get all sweaty. A little sweaty's fine, but I don't want to get all crazy sweaty and get all cranky and all that nonsense. This game could actually work with factions. If they improve C combat, maybe pirates could be one faction that players play it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, why not have factions? That way you always know what you're up against. As soon as you see a certain faction, you know friend or foe. You just know, okay, I should run or not run. I'm outnumbered, time to go get some friends of mine and then come back and fight for this area or whatever, you know. I mean, heck, it used to happen organically even in World of Warcraft on a PvP server. I mean, you'd be out fighting and all of a sudden you're getting ganged on by a couple of enemy faction members, but then all of a sudden in come a couple of friendlies at random and it's a whole nother fight. You know, that kind of thing was the spice of life, man. That was fun. Or you're just out doing your thing in a super dangerous zone and then you got a enemy player to contend with at the same time, then that gets crazy. But as long as everybody is this, you know, unknown factor, like this guy right here, as far as I can tell, like Bumsi Garbajera or whatever, I can't pronounce whatever that is. Is he a murderer? Maybe. But we'll never know because he's not marked as one, right? Doesn't mean that he hasn't murdered 10,000 different players in this game already. But I have no way of knowing. See, that kind of system doesn't work. But if he was an enemy faction or a friendly faction, I wouldn't even have to think about it. I wouldn't even care. Like, okay, murderer doesn't even matter to me. I know what he's about because he's in a certain faction. Or if we had guilds where guild versus guild becomes a thing later in this game. That could also work and make things great. Let's hope. So then guilds have KOS guilds, etc., and they're allowed to fight each other where and whenever. That could work. So I think they'll do it, but you made a point earlier that other people have made. I think part of their strategy right now is to keep things a happy, friendly face, right? So that they don't scare away the fresh and new player base. And then as people get in and things start to tail off slightly, then they got to keep the current player base that's experienced the game happier. Then they'll start to inject more PvP elements that actually hopefully will be balanced and exciting. And then the players will gravitate towards it. And even some of the people that aren't experienced at it will, you know, realize, well, wait a minute, this is actually kind of fun. And then, you know, and you've got some new PvPers in the fold. Yeah, we'll see. Saika pronounces as Suka, means meh. Okay. Okay, I see. I see.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules. Rule number 1. No touching of the hair or face.
Of course.
And that's it!
Last Epoch might come to the stream soon. I hear it's got some pretty cool, intricate customization features for character builds, and even the professions crafting is good. So I don't know. Maybe. How do I get down here? Here we go. And this game is like its own little mini game trying to just get around in it. This perspective. Hey, trolls. That's lucky. I'll take it. Even though those trolls are a little too rough, I can grind on them a little bit. I have to go down in the caves. Is it just Brandy that is bugged, guys? Is anybody else using drinks and not having an issue with higher level drinks? I need to know. No, it's not. It's not working, period. They bugged it. It's bugged officially. It's not working. It doesn't fire off a buff up here since the patch. So something's wrong. Now, you're not understanding me. It's not. It's literally stopped showing the buff. So there's something broken. Oh, okay, these are high level. I need to go. Why did I turn around? They made me turn around. That has some ability there. It did it to me again. What's that all about? Some kind of roguish thing they're pulling on me. Level 34. This is the highest level mob I've fought so far. Let's see what I do here. I won 1,019. Holy crap. All right, that's the highest I've gotten. Baz, you got to trust me when I say these things. I was paid as a quality assurance lead and engineer. I know when things aren't working. Just trust me. It's broken. The other ones appear. See? Let's see. See? Drank it. Nothing. That happened since the last patch. That's about the 5th one I've chugged now, and no buff. They move the buff location. Well, if they did that, then it's still bugged and broken. I don't know. But there's no way for me to tell this is actually working, unfortunately. Anyway, what am I doing here? I need to get out of here. Actually, I could actually kill these things. Another reason why I actually have an advantage here is because, believe it or not, the bounty board. I actually have good buffs from the bounty board versus humans. So I would like to come back here and kill some of those things for 1,000 EXP apiece. I'll just have to peel them away. Okay, we're just gonna kill some trolls. Oh, players everywhere all of a sudden. Maybe I should switch channels or something. Let's go to channel 5. Oh, I can't do it outside of protection zone. Okay, whatever. Of course. I'm getting crits, more crits. Nice. 931. Well, technically they are humans, and I don't know. Remains to be seen whether the bonuses matter. They should matter, but who knows? Is that a warlock? Brawler. Oh, ow. Okay. I got this. These things definitely hit hard. Oh. Yeah. Bloody didn't think this build would work, and I was like, well, watch this. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's not glamorous or anything. It is still melee predominant, so it is going to be a bit of a trick to work in PvP when I'm going to be dealing with every kind of range attack known to mankind. But once I get enough points to spend, I can start to make up for some of the current limits on that end. Hopefully be able to get more closers, get more burst damage, and be able to close gaps faster more often. But remains to be seen. I don't know. I don't know if I'll even hang around long enough to ever see a lot of PvP in this game. That also remains to be seen. But at least I'll have a character, and I could always come back and take a look. These pop rates, man. Can't just hang out for a minute. It's constantly reminding me that there are pops in this game. $931. Yeah, the fast travel. Yeah, I did that in Dogma. My wizard's pretty strong in that game. I forget where I left off, but I found the big castle wall, a big wall or whatever, where I think the dragon must be back beyond that or something. And is that a stairway right there? I can hardly even see it. Yep. And I killed the griffin a couple times. And what else did I kill? Killed something in that castle. Some dude. It turned out to not even be a fight. Like, I was disappointed. Some other wizard. Dude, they've got to fix that coding on that stupid aggro crap. It's obvious what's happening is that they're just instantly aggro a new human player. Yeah, the visibility it bothers everybody. I see it constantly. I hear people complain all the time about this very same things I complain about. You can't do anything but just kind of laugh because, like, yep. People are like, man, where the hell are the stairs? How many times have I run around in here? And, you know, it's like, oh my God. Okay, I'm not the only one. Thank you. What level are these people? Effective 25. About the same as me. 24. Should be hitting 25 here maybe today. Stay on for another hour. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be on here for much longer. I got to wind down and prep for Elden Ring this afternoon. Now I'm in the turtle area. See, I wonder what this guy is. He's probably a Dark Knight. Seems like Dark Knights are very popular. So I unlocked the big OP spells in Dogma. A couple of them, yeah. I got the big meteor swarm thing, which is pretty fun to launch. I don't think I got Earthquake. But yeah, my fire spells are pretty brutal. Splat. Yeah, you can go check out playlist, Bloody. I played a few episodes of Dragon's Dogma just to check it out because of the... Well, like everybody, I'm kind of excited about what I saw with the fresh one. I never played the old one, so I figured let's go take a look. Pretty good game. I mean, for what it is, especially for how old it is. Some cool ideas in it. The pawn system is interesting. If a little creepy, but yeah. I got a lot of content on my YouTube. It's like, what, 360 plus videos or something crazy? And growing every day. Oop, Harbor Island is now spicy. Interesting. Hopefully somebody attacks me. Where's he going? Damn, their movement speed is quick. Or I'm slow. I don't know what's going on. I can't expect you to go through it all. I love when people are like, you can't expect me to do things, Mr. Streamer. Do it all for me. Oh, let's see. I want to see what... Oh, you're moving too quick, dude. It's too hard to see what the hell people are, man. It doesn't even work consistently either. The shift, whatever, control, whatever. It's like sometimes it pops up right on the screen. Other times you have to go dig into the server log, and other times that doesn't show up in the server log. I just don't know how they have so many inconsistent behaviors in this game. Well, I don't expect anybody to watch my content overnight. God forbid. I want those watch hours to accrue, though, man. It's like, that makes me look good to YouTube. If you find something that looks interesting, more power to you. That's what it's there for. So I'm not going to expect anybody to be slavish about it. Watch what you want to watch. There's a lot of different games, I guess is what I'm saying. I play a wide variety of stuff. My Valheim content is as good as anything you're going to see, though, in Valheim. I guarantee you that. I know what I'm doing in that game. And I'm good at Zomboid, but I'm waiting for the big patch. I need bandits, man. I need bandits in Zomboid! Bring me bandits, damn it! I don't want to have to use mods for all that stuff. Because the mods are broke for that. I don't miss Zomboid yet, but I will. It always happens. I'll end up going back to play because it's one of my favorite games. And I just make hamburger out of these things, man. And I'm like, this build's got to be good, right? I mean, there's no way. Oh, here we go. 2 level 30s versus my 24. Let's go. Whoop. Without my regen from my Drakey poo, I'm getting smashed pretty good. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to take a pot. But I win. It was about 2,000 EXP there. Close to it. Not bad. Hey, my flag's out all the time. And we're in a hostile area right now, so bring it. Bring it. Well, you should go look at the UO Second Age website and look at their wiki. They got a good beginner's guide there. I just looked at it this morning. Go look at that. It's got a lot of great info in there. A lot of straight talk too, like how to. There's a link or two on there to forums where they talk about how to escape from player killers, etc. You're going to need to know this stuff because you're going to get attacked and you're going to have no chance at all when you're starting out. You're not going to want to engage people that obviously are running around with GM skills and stuff because they're just going to make burger out of you. But there's tricks. So like paralyzed is a big problem, right, for you. So if you get paralyzed, you want to have, you got to get some basic magery happening, at least level 25. You can go to trainers in the cities and actually purchase up to certain, I think 25 might be the cap for just about any kind of skill that you're interested in. So they'll give you a head start on key things. It'll cost you some silver and stuff, some gold or whatever, but it's worth it. So everybody's going to have a little bit of magery in Ultima because you have fast travel that counts on it. The good news is you don't have to necessarily run a mage. If you're more interested in a PvP melee build, you can go that route. But you want to have at least 25 magery because 25 magery will allow you to use recall scrolls. So if you have scrolls, you can always recall 100% with a recall scroll. So you'll be able to use marked runes to teleport around the world wherever the stuff is marked. And or use runes that might be available to you on the front porch of somebody's house or something like that. Another thing is you're going to want to trap some pouches. You got to get about maybe 8 pouches, keep them in your backpack, the little pouches, they're not expensive. And you want to magic trap those pouches. So every time you open up your backpack, you go into inventory, let's say somebody paralyzes you, you want to double tap that pouch, it'll set off that explosion and it'll instantly get you out of the paralyze. Now they're going to re-paralyze you, but as long as you've got more of those pouches, you can just keep popping those pouches and eventually they're going to run out of mana. So even the best player killer in the world is going to have a hard time catching you if you know these basic tricks. You know, so it's there's a lot of learning to be done in Ultima, but I have no doubt you'll learn. As long as you're enjoying it, you'll definitely. I think you're going to like it, man. It's like, I don't know how active it is, but I know there are players on those servers. I looked at some of the. Oh, it's way deeper than that, dude. I used to have every single spell in the spell book hotkeyed, double, triple hotkeys. I still know them to this day. I mean, there's a good reason why people were scared of me, man. Because I wasn't just a one-trick pony. I was every trick pony. I was the real GM mage. I was like, yeah, mess with me, dude. You're going to get a face full of everything, every trick, teleportation, stone walls, firewalls, vortexes. I mean, you know, all of it. But it was, you could get there too. And there's a better route too. I'll tell you right now what you should do. And in fact, I laughed because I actually made one. Apparently I have one on Second Age. So I have basically Vendetta on Second Age, but I didn't do much with him. I think he's just just a standard mage build. I never really ran around with him. But he's there bookmarked. But I have a bard. And I was like, whoa, God, I guess I made a bard on this. And then he's like 95 skill bard already or something. So you can make a bard, but you're going to have to learn how to create a couple of macros so it makes it easier for you to target mobs. And then you can run around and just, as you know, in that game, when you use skills, they go up in value. And when you don't use them, they depreciate. So if you're concentrating on bard magic, and let's say you have like 25 to 50 magery on them, you'll be able to use recall to get around fairly well without having to put a lot of resources into magery. But then you can work on getting your barding up. And like if you get up into the 75 plus, you're gonna have a pretty easy time of making mobs attack one another. And you can even aggro mobs against enemy players. So if you're doing that and say an enemy PK comes along, you know, you can aggro a couple of mobs on him to help distract him and then help you get away. But it's a great way to make coin, is what I'm getting at. Like a really good way to make coin in Ultima is to become a bard or have a character that's a bard. And then you just basically just sit back and make all the mobs kill one another when you get high enough skill, and then you just loot them. And you can use that money for all your other stuff. Yeah, it's real strong. It's annoying as hell. in PvP too, if you're up against somebody who knows what they're doing. Yeah, that was the first bard I ever ran into, was in the closed beta. I didn't even know what was going on, but I didn't make any bards until private servers, because I wanted to see what all the fun was about, and it is kind of fun actually. So I recommend you make one, and you'll make enough coin with that. You can use that to fund all your other, especially major. Major's going to be expensive. You're going to need at least 80,000 gold to get to GM Mage. You got to buy tons of reagents. It takes a long time. I mean, it should take a long time. I don't know. I mean, the private server might be faster, but in the old days, it took forever and a day to get to, you know, high level ranges on majory, and it was expensive. So, but like I say, you don't have to go that route either. You could be a poisoner, meleeer, you know, where you just concentrate on poisons. You poison your weapons. You can get big or small. It depends. If you want a fast, like a katana or something, you could use that. If you want a big halberd, you could go that route. I don't know if you can poison halberds or not. I know for sure you can poison swords. There's all kinds of ways you could approach it, and it can have, of course, more than one character. You should have like probably 3 different characters. One that's a mule, and one that's a crafter, and one that's your main. Or you could have, you know, an alt thrown in the mix there. So 4 is probably not a bad idea. Yeah. But just get a feel for it, man. Enjoy running around the game world. See if you run into players. I'm sure some of the players will be pretty friendly and give you a lot of good advice. Maybe even give you some starting stuff. Yeah, you can literally poison food in Ultima. You can make players sick with it. You know, all that stuff, I'm sure, is still in there. So much depth to that game. And here we are, 2024. And we still don't have anything even close. Pretty sad. Well, you're going to lose stuff. Don't worry about it. Because the stuff you lose won't be expensive. It's not a big deal. And most people aren't going to loot all your stuff anyway. If they are, they're just being douchebags. And I don't think those kind of players are probably playing on the private servers. Nobody's going to take all your newbie stuff. And they're not going to take even all your... A lot of times they're probably just going to kill you and not even take your reagents. I wouldn't be surprised. Once they realize that you're new, they're probably not even going to kill you. They'll probably wander off to other things, you know. Because you're not going to pose enough of a challenge for them to really want to kill you. And you're not going to have loot that they're really going to want anyway, so... Yeah, but the problem is with Ultima, there's all this political corporate crap involved, so the odds of people getting the licensing and getting it... I don't think Garriott even owns it anymore. Richard Garriott, so we're never going to see an Ultima Online 2, unfortunately. So this is what it is. It sucks too because the world is great. The world itself is iconic. The layout of the map is iconic. Imagine taking that and turning it into Unreal 5 engine version of it and having the base mechanics in that engine, but having maybe this kind of perspective, but not this kind of perspective, but you know what I mean? Like, you could make it work and make it look very much like a throwback in many ways to the original, and yet make it new and fresh and exciting with all the advances we've made in gaming and technology, but still have the underpinnings being there, you know, the actual gameplay, the mechanics that were originally there, that depth. But, you know, whatever, man. People are casual for the most part. They just want to be able to log in and farm their farms and gather their gold and grind and log off, I guess. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to the days of the early days of MMOs everybody just had to accept it because that was all that was available. And if it was hardcore, it was hardcore. See, the thing is, it's like, it isn't as if it wasn't fun. It was always fun. That's what I don't understand. Why people cried so damn much. It wasn't as if it wasn't fun. Okay, you really didn't have to attack my mob there, buddy. Fighter. Interesting. Don't see those very often. Archery, protection, warfare. Legacy 29. Level 29, effective. Legacy 34. So 5 levels higher than my effective rate. Fighter class. Do not see those very much. Yeah, but I want all the XP, man. I want it all. Hold on, I need to go out here and take a mini break for my sanity. Got a protein shake I'm gonna open up here. Okay, I'll kill you first, then I'll go you. $977. Carved his heart out, apparently. I should be safe here, huh? Unless a player comes up and tries to murder me, let's hope. Ooh. Well, at least I'm getting some grinding done. When I started out, I was like barely into 29. I'm approaching halfway to 30. Not bad. Yeah, I look forward to getting your feedback on Ultima on those servers that are closer to Classic, because I guess I haven't played in so long now, but it's still a good time, I'm sure, as long as they make the attempt to keep it closer to the old school and don't go completely wild with changes. Yeah, it's a little clunky, but that's the price to be paid for depth. I think it's still worth it, even after all these years. Especially if you've never played it. Well, like I say, go check out that beginner's guide off the wiki from Second Age. It's got recommendations for builds and stats, all that stuff you're talking about are right there. Yeah, and it's mainly for that, yeah. It is, but it is bare bones. It's like one page on a wiki. You can't get more bare bones. You're going to gain stats as you progress in the game anyway, so it's like, I wouldn't sweat it. Whatever you use, that's what you gain. You can gain strength from what you do, and etc. The beauty of it. It's like, it's kind of like you don't need to think about it. It isn't like these other games. You just playing the game itself will craft your character. So just do what you need to do to survive, and the character's stats will evolve on their own. We don't have to put a lot of thought into that. Outside of, you know, jump starting a couple of key ones with some of your silver pieces, or what you pick at outset for your character build. After that, it's just up to you to play. No, because mana is super important if you're a mage. If you're not a mage, it's not important. If you are a mage, it's majorly important to have mana. You run out of mana in Ultima, it's death. If you're a mage. It isn't like this game where it goes up quickly and stuff. It's like it takes big chunks of mana. Not paying attention here. Hold on. All right, you big galoot. Stop hitting me so hard. Oh, my buffs are down too. Ouchies. Bard doesn't need much intelligence, no. I don't think you need 100 strength on a bard. I think you need higher dex on a bard. But I don't know. It's been forever since I've messed with it. I can't be sure. Is that off the wiki thing? Well, 100 strength wouldn't suck. Because you'll get encumbered without a higher strength, and if you specialize in some kind of a melee weapon because you don't want to be a mage, then 100 strength can't hurt. I bet I have higher dex on my bard, though, than they're recommending there, but I don't remember. I probably have some magery on my bard, too. I know my bard is probably a little odd, though, because I call him fusion, so he's probably a mage. I'll probably be crossing bard with magery, more than likely. I'm sure he has probably at least 50 magery. But I could be wrong. At least 25, I'm sure. He's a pretty fresh character. I don't think I spent much more time on him than trying to level up the bard musicianship or whatever. Well, I mean, it depends on how you want to see. They're recommending. Oh, hold on. I'm getting smashed here because I'm talking to you. Okay, I got too close for comfort there. I'm running out of my... Man, I'm going through my stones here like crazy. Ah, of course, whetstones already, and they're not cheap. It depends. Like I say, if you want to start out a character and not be a mage, you don't have to worry about intelligence. But if you want to be a mage and you intend on getting high-powered mage, yeah, you definitely want to pump up int. You definitely want to go as deep in as you can from the outset. You want to have at least 50 magery from the outset, which you will if you build a character the way you typically built. So you're going to want to pick magic resistance. Magic resistance is super hard to raise, so I almost always max out magic resistance at character creation on just about any character because I PvP, so... Pick magic resistance. And depending on what you're running, you're going to want to stack that main attribute. But intelligence is only vital if you plan on being a mage. But magic resistance is useful for literally any character that's going to be running around in the world, because you're going to have to resist spells cast at you by mobs and players. Yeah, just experiment. Like, you know, you can... I forget how many slots you can have, but you should be able to at least have 4 different slots per account. You can also have multiple accounts on these private servers. I'm pretty sure you can have up to 2 different accounts on most of these private servers. So you can literally have other characters logged in doing stuff while you're running around with your other character. You could literally have a character that you create that's a mage whose main intention is only to be there to raise your character from the dead more conveniently. That's another strategy. So, you know. But you got to get the spells too. The other thing, like, this is more like Dungeons and Dragons. You actually got to get the spells in the spell book. You got to drop scrolls into your book and you grow your spell book. It isn't just like, oh, here's all the spells. That's not how it works. And you got to have the reagents to cast the spells. So this is big boy spell casting. No other MMO does it like this. It isn't like, oh, here's a new set of spells just because you leveled or something. But on the flip side, if you get lucky or if you got friends, you could get some pretty powerful spells right out of the gate. You know what I mean? So there's that advantage to it. Because it is based on player accountability and skill and interactions, you're not necessarily gimped because you're new to the game or quote unquote low level. That doesn't actually factor in, right? It's hold on a second. Man, these guys, they clobber me sometimes. They crit. I don't get crits off nearly enough for some reason with this guillotine move. I don't think I've just got bad luck. Hey, no, I'm leaving. Ow, stunned me. Okay, that was bad timing. He literally broke my Blade Storm cast. All right, now it's just me and you. I win. Okay, well, another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you have a hotkey for hiding. Okay, hiding's your bread and butter. You got to keep working up your hiding. In fact, go find a rogue thief trainer somewhere in a town, spend the silver, get yourself a little bonus to your hiding stat right out the get-go. That way you can like get your hiding up enough that you can hide more often. This will save you from players more often than not, unless they have tracking, like me. I always had tracking because I'm a maniac. But tracking's also another good skill you might want to invest in time in using. For me, it's second nature. I literally press tracking probably every 3.5 seconds in Ultima. It's crazy because I'm a nut. But no one ever was able to sneak up on me. So you don't have to get religious about it like that, but tracking and hiding will definitely benefit you when you're on your first character because you'll be able to be safer exploring. Other trick to understand is when you're closer to buildings, especially player housing, if you go under the lip of a player house where you can't necessarily see your character, you have a much higher chance of hiding by pressing your hiding ability. So if you're using tracking, for instance, and it shows you there's a player nearby and you're not sure about this guy and there's a house around you, run into the house, hit hide. More than likely, you'll be close to 100% chance to hide. And then if they come on the screen, you'll see if it's a Dreadlord or not. If it's a Great Lord, you're probably fine. More than likely, they don't have issues with the rep system in these private servers. So a blue character is probably not going to be a threat to you. They're not going to probably gank you. Doesn't guarantee they won't gank you, but they probably won't. Assume any red player is going to try to kill you. Again, though, doesn't necessarily mean they always will. Some will actually probably pretty cool. Just depends. If they find out you're new, like I say, if they're anything like me, they probably won't kill you, and they might even give you some gear. Hell, they're really super cool. They might even give you an extra spell book or something, but don't expect that. But it could happen. A fully loaded spell book is not that uncommon for people to have. Points have slowed down. I think I'm not doing enough questing. Yeah, don't forget, I literally have not played Ultima in years, man. So it's like a lot of the knowledge that I had at the front of my brain is not there at the moment. But it comes back every time I fire it up again. Has to, or you don't survive. I was on a pre-second age server that unfortunately didn't last long enough, but I built a couple of really good characters on there. Mainly because there was one guy who just was griefing everybody on the server, and I was ready to murder him, and then the server got shut off. So it's like a kind of sucked. But yeah, I had a really good bard there. Bard mage. Oop. What's happening? There we go. Another thing about my character build I noticed is he's just really hard to finish off, like because of my picks and my passives that kick in and start to make me very killy. Resist way harder, because the only way you're going to train resist is by actually getting hit with spells. With hiding and things like that, all you got to do is press a hotkey. So with magic resist, you got to cast. Either have to have a mob casting on you, a player casting on you, or you spend the money and the reagents to cast spells on yourself. And there's a whole different layer of how many, what type of spell you should cast. At the beginning, you should only be casting like, you know, basic like harm spells and stuff on yourself, and then you'll gravitate up a circle to like fireball and lightning and you know, stuff like that. Ultimately, you'll go up to like energy bolt that you'll cast on yourself, you know, and then there's might even be a level of spells beyond that that you would try. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? So, and that takes time, right? So time and money in the game, and you have to have a safe place to do it. That's why player housing is a very good investment. Get yourself a little small player house as soon as you can afford one. Tuck it away somewhere in a out of the way area, but maybe not too out of the way. Depends. You might want to be near a city if you don't intend on being a bad guy. And you know, again, strategy, tactics, all that, all the stuff you love. That's all part of it. You're gonna decide, and you're free to decide where and how you build. What you use your housing for. You'll be able to eventually either use the same house or scrap it or get another type of house. I mean, they have everything in the game, all the way up to like freaking castles and stuff, which are hard to even find a place to put down, and they're very expensive. But you know, if you want to go crazy, and then of course you got to maintain the houses. I think usually it's about, they'll expire probably in about 2 weeks if you don't touch them. You know, on most servers. KOTOR? No. I haven't had the time to ever dig into it. I know it's supposed to be great. That's why there was a studio that was supposed to be making a remake of it. I was all jazzed about that because I was like, oh wow, I'll be able to play the original game, but with all the new angled and updated graphics. And apparently that is, I don't know if that project is still alive even at all. Hopefully it is, but I don't know. No, they're not supposed to wokeify it. It's supposed to be untouched. But they had some people involved that were woke, and they got rid of them. They bagged them. So, yeah, I don't want any of that shenanigans. Yeah, they got rid of her. Yeah, they fired her. She's gone. I think they'll probably try to do the project again, but they're just probably secretly putting together a team again. It makes sense because it would definitely make money. Worms are leaving the sugarcane plantation and spreading towards the what? The Isles landscape, searching for a new lair. Worms are leaving. Worms? Wait, we got some random mobs here? Oh, great. Poisonous something or other. Now, if they would just cancel Rings of Power, I'd be happy. Oh, just as the damn dots wore off, I hit that. In Ultima? Some people are probably hiding, yeah. Especially in their houses. People hide in their houses sometimes. Like literally press hide while they're in the house, so they... just out of habit. So people don't come by and try to kill them with earthquake or something. Yeah, now see, now you're playing a man's game where it's like, as soon as you leave the safety and the comfort of those guards, it's on. Which is, that's great, because you're going to have that little thrilling tingle on your arms, making the hair stand up sometimes when you're like, uh-oh, is that an enemy player coming? I'm going to die. It's like this game where I'm just like, I look at people and I'm like, oh, hi, whatever, bye. $225 for the attributes, $700 for the skills. Pretty sure. If memory isn't of any good there. I don't know why they would. I have no idea why they would put a artificial cooldown on that stuff. That does not sound classic, but I'm not sure. I'm paying attention to his dots again. Yeah, check out that other one I sent you a link to and let me know. I don't know. I have a... In fact, let me go look right now. Hold on. I've got a client that keeps track of all my old server information. Thank God. Otherwise, I never would remember how to log in anything. Let's see. Where is it? Actually, I've got a list of stuff too that I put into a text file. Let's see. Lost Lands, yeah. Lost Lands. I've got notes here. Pros, nice website and graphic adverts, active server population. Cons, corpse despawn rate is insanely fast, 15 minutes or less, and stages from corpse to bones. NPC bodies despawn even quicker. Exactly the same as what I experienced on UO Renaissance. And it's the same UO server engine in use. Timed this on second age, 10 minutes to deteriorate from corpse to bones, 15 minutes and is entirely gone. So there you go. So keep in mind that corpses deteriorate and vanish over a period of time, and some servers are faster than others, and anything that was on it will disappear. Usually, although they may change it where maybe stuff that's on a body will actually just go onto the ground, and then that will start to deteriorate. I don't know. Your mileage may vary, but it looks like I have tried almost anything that was close to classic at some point or another over the last decade or more. So yeah. Yeah, ping will be important too. Good point. Oh, also another thing that's important to understand about Ultima Combat, especially if it's classic, and I'm pretty sure on most of the servers that you're dealing with, you can precast an Ultima, okay? That's important. So you can literally cast a spell, and until you actually put that cursor over a target, that spell is ready to go, and the minute you apply that cursor, you'll instantly cast. And if you're going to PvP in Ultima, you got to practice and get used to doing that, or you won't survive. Oh, I always end up going back to Ultima at some point in time, every couple 3 years, at least for a few days, just to wax nostalgic. Like I say, though, I mean, I put a lot of effort in that one server just to have it go down. That was kind of like, after that, I was like, I can't keep doing that. But that was pre-second age. That was as old school as you can get. That was like retail, Atlantic server, pure. They were real purists that were running that server, which I really appreciated. Super rare. You'll never find another server like that, probably. The second age ones are about as close as you're going to get. Where is this at here? Swarming speed. I don't even see the marker for this thing. I don't know. This is the one UI element that I really want to be able to move, and you can't move it. At least you couldn't before. I should see if they've changed that with any of the patches. Hopefully you can move it. Ooh, got a big crit on him there. Here, let's check the UI for a second. Ooh, oh, ah. Nope, can't move it. Damn it. It highlights, but still immovable. Ooh, 100% packet loss. Yikes. That was for the Lost Lands or whatever the heck it was? $80 and $40, yeah, still pretty healthy after all these years. Pretty good. Of course, some of those are more than one account, probably. So cut it in half, you're still looking at least 40 players on the second age. Which is plenty. Especially since you're starting out. You don't need a huge population looking to kill you. It doesn't require a BVPC by today's standards, because CPUs are way stronger now. Back in the day, it did because there's so much data. In Ultima, every single piece of loot has its own presence, right? So the more that gets saturated, and more players and their banks, their houses, and all their different storage options, you can literally create all kinds of different crates and fill them up in your one little house and have thousands of reagents and different things all in just one little tiny house. And imagine multiplying that times a few hundred. And all of a sudden you can see how, you could slow down an old PC, right? But no, it's not a big deal nowadays. I typically can run it I run my own server emulator when I want to fire up my Ultima on a laptop, and it's not a problem. And heck, it should be even less of a problem now because I've got Windows 10 on the laptop now, where it used to be like Windows 8. It's not a database issue. CPUs have to keep track of data. The more data and math you put in, the harder it is on a CPU. That's as old as computers. CPU bottlenecks are worse than GPUs, right? CPUs cause GPU bottlenecking. Like on my current machine, I have that issue because it's an older box with a higher level GPU but a lower level CPU. So I've got like a first generation i7 on this box, believe it or not. Does the job most of the time, but it sure would be nice when I upgrade. That's why I don't invest in a beefy GPU. It doesn't make any sense. pretty much at my limits with my 1070. But we're getting there where I'm going to have to do the whole new, fresh computer thing next year or so. No, I don't know where I'm going to get the money, but we'll find it. I'll rob a bank or something. I'm not doing this right here because I'll get the pops from those others. No thanks. Elden Ring runs far too well for a first gen i7. Technical trainer. My computers rarely ever tank. I have hard drive failure. I had a hard drive failure the first time in years, which was pretty bad because I had a lot of data on there. I wasn't expecting it, but that was on a external. But as far as like my computers, I've still got working computer. I have a working computer before this one that's being used for multimedia in my living room. Still running as good as it ever has. So it's how you take care of your machines, really, is the reason I'm able to make use out of this. But it's going to come to a point in time where also I planned ahead. So when I bought this machine, it was top tier, and I planned for expansions. I had room for RAM, so I boosted the RAM in this thing to like 32. And that made a big difference. No, I'm not doing crystal. Only one of us can get the benefit of the crystal, so there's no point in sharing a crystal. We're to the point now, we have been for several years, where we're finally outpacing software with hardware, right? So, and the beauty of the hardware now, especially as you can see with something like Unreal Engine 5, I mean, I'm no expert in this, but I know enough about the basics to understand it. It's like the computational power of things now is so good that we're able to see way better graphics without nearly the intense needs for this hardware. So we're off to the races. It's great. It's a great time to be a gamer. I mean, let's face it, it's just going to get better and cheaper. It should be getting cheaper for us, but you know, Bitcoin, all that crap. But yeah. But we're all going to need new machines when Star Citizen hits 1.0. No, it's not true anymore. We're way beyond that. Unreal 5's computational ability is incredible. It doesn't need excessive hardware anymore. The hardware easily keeps up with it. That's how good these engines are now. They're just great. The advances in the tech is amazing. That's why they look so damn good. That's why you're going to be able to run an MMO on an engine like Unreal 5, which just a few years ago would have been unheard of. There's no way that would work. It'd be way too much for any server to maintain. It would be way too much for clients. But now it's a possibility. And also the same thing goes because they knew that going into making Star Citizen 10 plus years ago. They knew the technology would be there. That's why they have such incredible engineering in their ships. Every ship's handcrafted. Every ship actually is engineered. Every ship works, has working parts, has, levels of detail no other game has put into spaceships. and the details of the texturing and all the things. It just keeps getting better and better and better. You know, it's almost photorealistic. We're getting to that age now, especially with the advent of the AI. We're going to be having photorealistic games that are going to be, you know, almost impossible to tell from movies. In not too distant future, so. I mean, I'll help this guy a little bit. I wonder what level this dude is. He's way... Let's see. Effective 33, legacy 44. Yeah, he's pretty beefy. Whoop. How can that be true if I'm running all these modern games on this box? There's literally nothing out that I haven't been able to play. This computer is over 6 years old. Yeah. Well, admittedly, I mean, it was top tier $3,000 computer when I bought it. But, you know, that doesn't account for everything. The software technology is better than it's ever been, is what I'm telling you. It's only getting better. It's not stressing CPUs and GPUs nearly as much as it used to. It's getting more bang for the buck all the time. That's why Unreal 5 is so amazing. Imagine what Unreal 6 will do. The number of my i7? Let's see. Probably shouldn't, because who knows what people can do with this information, but let's see. One sec. Intel Core i7 3820. 3.6 gigahertz. It's damn close to first generation, if it isn't. What is it, second generation? Or it's semantics at this point. It's early. There you go, third. What generation are i7s up to now? 7, 9, 11? i5s are faster than this CPU. A box i5 on a typical laptop is faster than this CPU. i5s are literally faster than this now, modern i5s. I tell people that, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, some kid the other day was like asking me about his specs, and I'm like, "Well, your i5 is better than my i7." He's like, "How is that possible?" I'm like, "My i7 is early gen. That's why." I wish it wasn't the case. Yeah, 1070 is about as good as I'm going to bother putting on here. Somebody gifted me the card, so I put it in. But I'm glad I'm on NVIDIA, man, because I used to be on AMD, and oh my God. Ugh. Never again, dude. I had the whole twin card thing, and oh my God, my box ran so hot, I thought it was going to melt. I was always hearing the fans. This thing runs so quiet. Ever since I put a side fan into the box, I never hear this, never have a problem with it. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with my machine, you know, knock on wood, right? Because now that I'm talking about it, it'll explode tomorrow or something. But yeah, so far it's been very good box. But it pays to invest in a good case, have expandable solutions and all that stuff. I thought ahead. Wasn't wasted money. I hate wasting money. I can't afford to waste money. Didn't think I'd be using this for streaming when I bought it, but yeah, there we go. So ultimately, what I probably could do is turn this into the... Oh man, what is happening here? Good grief. Jeez, they're just beating the crap out of me. Good night. Must have got some crits off on me or something. Oh, my buffs are all down too. Candle? Just for show. It gives off a little bit of light, I think. A lot of that stuff is just cosmetic stuff for housing and stuff like that. The stuff that comes in your backpack, it's just there for fun. So what's cool about Ultima is just like similar to like Skyrim, you know, much more advanced games. Items are actually grabbable and pick upable, and they actually have, you know, weight and, you know, a lot more fun, right? Like, unlike stuff like in our modern games like this, where everything is just an icon, you know, you can actually drag them around in your backpack. You can actually use your backpack strategically. You can cover up your more valuable stuff with other stuff, you know. If you got a rune in there, you can tuck it around under layers or whatever and make it harder for somebody to steal or find, you know. Of course, it's a little more cumbersome, of course, but I don't know. I always thought it was fun. Anyway, long term at this point, when I get ready to get another box, I'll probably dual box and have this box will become my main streaming box, and then I'll have the other one be handling all the hardware and software, the rest of the gaming, and should just make everything that much smoother. Then if I have to reboot the game, I won't have to reboot the stream, etc., etc. So this box will still have a long life ahead of it, I think. Yeah, the more I'm as much about simulations as I am about typical gaming elements like strategy and tactics, and obviously first person, third person, whatever, right? I like simulations especially in MMOs. The more simulation that we get, the better, in my opinion, as long as it doesn't become too much of a problem for the overall gameplay. That's why I'm excited about games like Ashes of Creation and PAX Day, because there's a lot of really cool simulation elements. They're trying to make a living, breathing set of worlds, and that's awesome because that builds immersion. Let's face it, we're all here to get away from the real world. I don't want to be, that's another reason I don't like some games, especially like Japanese RPGs and Korean games where everything is like ding, bang, boom, bing. They got these sounds and all this flash. It's like, dude, I don't want to remember I'm in a game all the time. I want to be so immersed in the game. That's what's so magical about Ultima Online. Even that little old clunky engine of Ultima did its utmost to immerse you in the world. And it did a damn good job of it. That's why it still holds up to this day. Yeah, well, that's why Star Citizen is why Star Citizen is taking so many years to develop, because it's going to have a lot of those elements built into it, and does now, and they're just improving upon it. But for instance, Star Citizen, when it's ready to roll, you'll be able to put down a can of Dr. Pepper, walk away, and that can's going to stay there until somebody else comes up and picks it up, or some trash system kicks in and deletes it, puts it into a trash can, or a robot sweeps it, or a bomb goes off and destroys it, or whatever. But they're going to have, they're going to have it so the world itself is impacted by the players in just about every level all the time. And that's going to make your head explode with how immersive it'll be. And then when player settlements and all those things get implemented, and, people will be building star bases and, terrestrial housing and all that stuff, and combined with the amazing level of detail that's already in the ships, all the way from little scout vessels to giant capital class vessels. I mean, the sky's the limit. It's hard to pull off, but they're doing it, and they've got the investors, man. Millions and millions and millions of dollars keep getting pumped into that game because people see results, and the dream is alive. And they're old farts like us, like me anyway. It's definitely a Gen X game. That's why it'll survive. It's because, it's an older breed of gamer in general is into Star Citizen on every level. So, I'm the generation. I still have my, I've got my Wing Commander boxes down in my cabinet in my basement. Eve is a cool game. It's very niche. It didn't really keep me very long. But my guild got into it for a while. We played it. We had fun. But, you got to, again, Eve is one of those games you just got to invest a ton of your time and stuff. And not for everybody, for sure. The grinding and the mining and all that, it's like, just like everything. And the good thing about Eve is there's a lot more player versus player, for sure. That makes it interesting. No. Yeah, you got to be like a stockbroker to really love Eve, I think. Hey, but you know, it stood the test of time. More power to Iceland. But well, I made it to almost halfway on the level here this morning. Not bad. But again, I can't get Twitch views on this. Save my soul, so we'll be seeing less of Ravendawn. The drama, yeah, I guess there's always drama with Eve of some kind, huh? I'll keep up with it. Seems like it's been pretty quiet in recent years, though. I think I'm going to go out here and kill some pirate boats. Hope they fix this drink problem. How much money have I made? I'm up to 6K from just grinding. That's not bad. Got any bags? I got some loot bags. Oh. With any luck, I might be able to buy a pack. Let's see. Nope, 250, still short. Yeah, but I don't want to waste my money on stuff like expensive drink and food at this point. I'm too poor. All right, my pitiful little boat, fighting the winds. Let's see if I can kill 23 pirates. Uh-oh. There's an event out here. Everything's an investment in this game. There we go. Ow. I love pirate games. I need to get that Black Flag game. Apparently Black Flag puts this new pirate game to shame. I used to love the original Pirates, and then I played the remake and all that. I just want more historical stuff in my pirate games. As soon as they don't have historical elements in a pirate game, I turn my nose up. I'm a pirate snob, I guess. It's either that or it's got to have good fantasy elements or both, but still I want historical. Sea of Thieves could have been so much better if they just thrown any historical merchanteering or something into the game, and like British and French and Spanish ships that would try to sink you, you know, but everybody's lazy and stupid. Nobody wants to actually learn anything or teach anything. It's all about arcadey this, arcadey that. That's why this new game is so awful. Absolute trash. You know, there's not even PvP in that game. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. I was like, what? Yeah, well, I'm willing to play Assassin's Creed if the pirate version is good enough. That's about the only thing that'll get me to play it. Oh, that missed. Oh, I missed again. Did he rubber band? Even the boat's rubber band? That doesn't make any sense. Yep. I'll rubber band that. Sunless Sea. I looked at it. I don't remember if I have it or not. Is that like a kind of like a H.P. Lovecraft type thing? I've got that fishing game. What the hell? I streamed a couple times. I need to go back to that. Ow. It's pretty janky. This movement's terrible. I don't know if it's server or just made to be like that, but it's... Maybe my boat just sucks and the sail is terrible. I'm just hoping I get some upgrades out of this quest line for the boat. I don't know if that's the case or not. We'll find out. Where the hell are they? They're at the bottom of the sea, yeah. Well, some of them definitely are, huh? Yar. Maybe they're closer to shore. Well, this is a time sink. Yeah, Sid Meier's was the classic. I played the very, very first incarnation of Pirates on the old Apples. Borrowed it. Sound man for what a band I was playing with had that, the hell was that called? Cool little Apple tower thing. And he had Pirates on there and he let me play it. I would stay up all night in the band house playing that thing and got like 2 hours of sleep. That's back in the day when I could get away with stuff like that, not flinch. Everybody else sleeping, I'm playing Pirates in the dark on this Apple computer. It's hilarious. on the road. That's before I had my own PC. Eventually, not shortly after that, I finally got my first PC after I kept saving up money and giving it to some PC shop owner back in the days when they all had gold rings and necklaces and stuff because they were making so much money. But bit by bit, I squirreled away enough cash. Got a 386 because he gave me a free upgrade from 286 that I'd originally contracted to get because he couldn't even put together 286 anymore. First computer in the IBM class was a 386. I'd play games on there that were like slideshows and didn't care because everything was new and exciting. And I finally got a Pentium upgrade when I was doing all the website work for my band, another band later on. And the producer gave me a computer, and that's when I finally had a decent machine, and that's when I got into Ultima and Diablo and all that stuff. You play GTA 4 at 24 FPS, there you go, yeah. Okay, these pirates are like non-existent out here. I guess it's a blessing when that event is going on because when it isn't, we're finding nothing. Well, might be closing up the episode here shortly because I've got to take a break before I come back with Elden Ring, that's for sure. Myself a pork chop or something. I've never played any of the GTA games. I probably should get GTA 5 invent on NPCs. But that would not be Christian of me. Remember, you killed a few by shooting in the air and making them panic at train station. I went to the stairs, crouched, and NPCs fell over and got injured. Yeah, see? Evil! Alright, well, these pirates are non-existent. Let's go to, actually, let me just teleport home. Back to Rotuga. Port Rotuga. Unless I can teleport from here. Can't teleport while in ship. Yeah, I pretty much guessed. All right. See you later, Captain Blackstone. All right, let's sell our trash. Another thing I just recently realized is that there's different levels of trash for whatever reason. So when you come up here, there's normal and there's high and superior and artisan. So just because you think you sold all your stuff and then you walk away and you realize you still got more back in your back is because you have to go through these categories. There's so much hidden layering like this in the UI. It's kind of goofy. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So learning curve, I guess. Also, there's some stuff you don't want to sell apparently, but I'm not familiar enough with what not to sell, so I think we're okay here. Nothing's ringing a bell anyway. All right. I made another 4K from trash item. Not bad. You could also shoot guns out of enemy hands. The gun could still shoot while hitting objects on falling. I died once by having a shotgun blast to the head that way. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like when they put in complex interactions in games where you don't necessarily expect them. All right. Sold one bitter brew. Well, what? Sold 10 boar steak. Oh, is this from when I sold stuff? It's still going through what I sold at the top of my screen? I guess so. Weird. Maybe the server's lagging or something. Maybe I had more stuff to actually sell for once and I'm not used to it. All right, let's try something. Consumables, drinks. Vodka. See? Look at that. No buff for vodka either. What the heck? They've broken drinks or something. Oh well. Whatever. I ain't got the patience or the time for that right now. What balances it? Those are low-level freaking drinks. How is that balancing anything? Like, I think they just bugged it. Troll fangs. Those must be of value. Probably not, though. They're all good. Even a point is good. It's up to me. It should be up to me as a player. If I want to spend money on lesser drinks, that should be my prerogative. If they're doing stuff like that, that's just dumb. But who knows? You could be right, but I still think it's stupid. What's the point of it all? All right, so supposedly we have housing now. $10,000. I just bought it. So now I own a house. So there goes all my money again. But I have my first house. Look at me. Woo! Even though they put the doors so close together, they make them awkward to open. Great. Should have put it over here, guys. Decorations. Not owned, not owned, not owned, not owned, not owned. Ugh. Small bedroom. 5K. Blacksmithing. Weaving. Okay, so you can make your own little stations. But we have no room in here to begin with. Small chest, free. Hey, storage. Yeah, that doesn't suck. Mouse doesn't work. Click, 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 right, left, nothing. Bugged? Or you gotta be right next to it? What the heck? Hold on. Let me see. Nope. Oh, it's just... It's buggy. Does it respond? Sometimes it responds, sometimes it doesn't. You got to click on like the bottom of the... Okay, yeah, this is really not well implemented. It's just, sorry, but it's not well implemented, man. I should not have to learn how to open a door because I can only open at specific areas on the door and I have to be a specific distance away. Or this is terrible. Yeah, this is not good. Not good. Placement is key. They should never have put these right next to one another in the first place. Yep, I'm clicking, can't open. It's sometimes it opens, sometimes it doesn't. Hold on. Can't close it again once it's open with the same click. Oh, there it goes. It's super random. There's some issue. I don't know if it's the server or what. Now it's not closing. I give up. Yeah, but I mean, doors should be working. Period, right? They're not. They're unreliable. I mean, you know, that's another thing too, right? As you play Ultima Online, even the housing's better in Ultima. Maybe you can't make farm fields and stuff like that. Okay, fine. But I mean, I think you can actually. I just never did it. But you can put in your own different crafting areas and turn your houses into shops and sell stuff, and they're literally out in the world and interactive, and other players can visit your homes and stuff. But you can't have any of that stuff going on here. I think housing should be an integral part of any MMO. They're just not if it's badly implemented. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, you've got your place, I've got mine. I'm that guy who runs out in the middle of the wilderness and never comes back to the cities. So I got to have a place to rest, so. I know I talk about stuff and, you know, and people are probably like, he's full of crap. There's no way he did all these things. But I was the first guy in Ultima to build a house in a dungeon. I was the first guy in Ultima to build a boat in a dungeon. I was the first guy in Ultima to build a house on top of the Lich Crypt. How was that guy? So. You know, the thing is, I've got Kenshi, and funny story. So, this box that I was telling you about, I only had it for a few days, or maybe a couple of weeks. I loaded up Kenshi on it for the first time. And had a massive GPU failure. Or was it CPU? It was a CPU. Overheated, something happened. I was like, what the hell? I had like the best cooler in this thing, and I'm like, how, you know, something was fudged in the build when it got shipped to me. So I had to ship it. This thing is like a beast, dude. It takes like practically 2 people to carry this thing and put it into a box. It was ridiculous. So I put this thing all back, send it off. I was playing Kenshi for the first time when it happened. So I have like this thing about Kenshi where I'm just like, I can't kind of quite shake it, where I'm just like, just the mere thought of the game makes me think it's going to destroy my computer. So I'm sure it was just coincidence, but still makes me nervous. Yeah, I probably would like Kenshi a lot. But very freeform. That's the thing you like about Ultima too. I mean, Ultima is very free. You can do what you want. I know a lot of secrets too about the map. Stuff that most people, even seasoned people, don't know. So I used that to my advantage when I was on that one server I was telling you about, where that guy was ganking all the new players. And yeah, I went to a little island in the middle of the thing. I thought I was safe. He shows up like literally day 2 on a boat. It would have killed me too if I hadn't had a hotkey ready to recall out of there instantly. I barely got out because I was like training on stuff for majory. But I got away from him. And he was like, vowed he'd find me. And I was like, you're never going to find me, dude. And it's like, how do you mean? I'm like, trust me, you're never ever going to find me again. And he never did either. That's why I put my bard together, Fusion, and I was going to kill him with him. He's going to be a GM mage, GM bard, and I was going to murder him. But I trained in secret in this little hidden area that practically nobody knows about, probably to this day. So if you ever get to a point where you're getting ganked over and over, let me know, and I'll let you know where that is. Yeah, New World had a big problem, right? I remember that. It killed some... Can you imagine how I'd freak out if a game killed my system? Boy, they probably had to reimburse a few people for some... I'd imagine. Either that or risk a lawsuit. Anyway... Well, cool. I'm going to switch to chatting for a minute here. And log out of this Ravendawn. I've got to get ready for another stream later today, probably later this afternoon. Look at that. Your name is so damn long, it pushes it outside of my chat box. Nothing I can do about that. Get a shorter name next time. Evidiate the costs? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was both of them. Maybe they shared the weight of it. Either way, whoever got screwed should have gotten something for their trouble. Ain't like these companies can't afford it. Especially NVIDIA. Oh my gosh, NVIDIA is rolling in money right now. I wish I had NVIDIA stock. A buddy of mine has NVIDIA stock. Lucky him. Alright. Shutting down some of those elements. Well, thanks to anybody who's watching this on the YouTube, because that's pretty much it. It's pretty much just been one lurker and the Twitch and Bez and me for most of the stream. But hey, content is content. I wonder if New World will bounce back. It's still hanging on. But, you know, I don't really care because it's not my cup of tea anyway. I was more interested in when it was going to be PvP heavy. That might have gotten me into it, but nah. The video link? Where'd you send me this link? Was this in a comment? Failed because of exploits? Wow, it got exploited that fast? I swear. You know, I was having this conversation in another stream. We're going to get to the point soon where we're going to have legal penalties for these people so that they go to jail or get fined. Enough is enough. So, I mean, people pay money to play these games. You're literally stealing from them and the companies involved. It's no longer funny. It's not a meme anymore. We got to start holding these bums accountable. Otherwise, they're just going to keep screwing up our games all the time. People lose their jobs over stuff like this. It's not good. It's not a little thing. Because I know the company I used to work for wasn't a gaming company, but if we had allowed any kind of exploits, we would have lost everything. So I was involved with security facets of it whenever it has to be, and you know, it's just part of the job. It's constantly having to watch out for any kind of shenanigans. It was really easy to exploit. I guess the engine is not good then, huh? Ah. Dragging windows would give you invincibility? Oh my goodness. It's amazing how people even come up with these things. They got way too much time on their hands. Of course, these hackers, they're not usually working jobs anyway. They're usually stealing. They're too busy stealing, compromising people's boxes, stealing Bitcoin and whatever else they're after, I guess. I've dealt with some of these groups back in the day. I used to run with a couple of gamers that were white hat hackers. And they would tell me stories, and I actually, sometimes I'd go into Usenet and I'd peel files, and every once in a while I'd find a Trojan in a file, and sometimes they'd be unlocked, and you could go inside and find their IRC. One time I dropped into the IRC and was like, hey, you guys forgot to password your Trojan. And they were like, what? Who are you? And I'm like, oh, no, buddy. You know. But then I reported it to the FBI, and the FBI was like, they didn't know what they were doing back then. They're like, huh? Well, you know. I'm like, yeah, okay, you guys are useless. Hopefully they're on top of it now. Because, I mean, I literally hand these guys. Here it is. Here's the IRC. I go into the IRC, and there's like 100 compromised computers in here. I think you need to arrest these guys. They didn't do anything. So there's always going to be exploits and always going to be hackers as long as nobody is thrown in jail. Or given stiff fines of like $5,000, $10,000. Well, you shouldn't be in that line of work if you don't care, but yeah, you're right. But a lot of the stuff in the FBI and the DOJ is corrupt as hell now, so. A lot of them, you know, when you've lived as long as I have, you got stories. I remember an ex-girlfriend called me one time and she was freaked out and she was dating some guy out of Miami who was an FBI agent. I'm like, why are you calling me? And she's like, oh my God, I got involved with this guy and I'm pretty sure he's corrupt. He's dealing drugs and he's an FBI agent. I was like, oh my God. I was like, get away from him now. That's the kind of people that are in the DOJ now. They're not all like that, of course. Hopefully the majority of them aren't, but they're... Used to be a day when I was a kid, a crooked FBI agent was like unheard of. Like, what? Now, even the FBI's got them, so... Yeah, so the real world is just loaded with crooks. Make an example. All you gotta do is make an example out of a couple of these people. I mean, a couple of guys have gotten burned by like Sony and stuff for messing with their companies, but we need to make examples out of the guys that are screwing up our MMOs. And then the rest will think twice. No, brother, he wasn't undercover. He was crooked. My girl wasn't stupid. Trust me. She was a concert pianist. She would know the difference. She knew he was crooked, and I reported it. I reported the incident for all the good it would do, but I didn't know the guy's name, and I wasn't going to give up her name, but I told her basically the location. Yeah, of course, I'm sure they never followed up. And hopefully they caught the guy by accident eventually, but, you know, probably not. How are banks safe, though? Yeah, exactly, right? How are banks safe? See, I knew you were smart, Biz, see? That's a good question, isn't it? They can make data safe when they want to. Yes. Isn't that interesting? A lot of these software companies don't have the money to hire enough people even like me. That's why they don't even have quality assurance teams at all on a lot of these companies anymore. Which is another reason why so many troubles brew up, why games are released with so many bugs. You got to pay a competent quality assurance engineer, not as much as you'd pay a software engineer, but, you know, still, you got to pay. And they don't want to do that. They'd rather cook up schemes. You pay them to test their games nowadays. So that's what they do. It's ridiculous. These AAA companies even do this crap. It's like, dude, the companies that have the money don't put enough time and effort into their quality assurance. And now they hire people that don't have any business being part of the development and the process in the first place. That's the reason Diablo 4 is having so many problems that are coming to the forefront, because they have all these people that don't even play the game that developed it. Like, they can't even play their own game. Or like we talked about yesterday, I think, where we mentioned the comic book industry, where they get these comic book creators that don't like writing comic books. I remember I got in an argument on X with a couple of these clowns, you know, because I'm a writer, and I'm like, the industry is saturated with people that don't like the industry. And they're like, well, it's true, but it's just a paycheck. We need to make it. It's like, dude, go make it somewhere else. You don't need to be part of an industry that you don't love. The comic book industry has always been about loving the hobby, loving the medium. Go do other things. You don't need to be part of that just to pick up, because you're going to destroy it, and they are. There's, you know, right now, DC and Marvel could go bankrupt. It's insane. I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime, but this is because of people who don't give a damn getting involved, getting opportunities that somebody like me will never get, you know, who should be writing Batman, will never get the opportunity because they hire these diversity hires that are now going to ruin Batman forever. Oh, Batman's bisexual now and all this other what? I'm like, fire them all. Batman, bisexual. I'm sorry. Batman is like the alpha. Batman has always been like the dude. Like every woman in DC universe either wants to be with Batman or has been with Batman, with Bruce Wayne. It's like we can't have anything remain iconic and normal because we live in this world where these weirdos keep getting hired into positions where they don't belong. And they wonder why people get ticked off. It's like, oh, yeah. I never even thought they'd even dare screw with Batman. It was bad enough what they did to some of the Robins and what they did with Superman, but now they're going to do it with every character. Now is free game for these weirdos until they go bankrupt. Yeah. At least people are pushing back on all this more and more, and we're seeing less of this crap. Hopefully in the next couple of years, it'll all rectify itself, and movies will be movies again, and comic books will be comic books, and we don't have to see rainbows everywhere. We don't have to be dealing with their nonsense everywhere, and they don't have to be injecting false racism everywhere. It's just, you know, it's tiresome, man. It's so tiresome. We just want to be entertained, dude. Batman's now map, yeah. That's another thing too. It always amazes me how these groups would make these Robin jokes. All these, like, you do understand that Robin is a teenager, right? Like, so all your jokes about the relationships between him and Batman is so inappropriate, madly inappropriate, and this has been going on for decades. It's like. But now here we are in a day and age where they're actually getting away with putting it into the comic books. And these are read by kids. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop because when I start going off on that tangent, I just start to lose it. Hell, even I got accused of crap by these weirdos on X when I published my first novel, calling me a frickin' racist and all this stuff. And I'm like, you haven't even read my book. Oh, well, you used this word. I'm like, call a character Chinese? That's racist? My book is loaded with Hispanics, blacks, whites, Asians, homosexual, bisexual, and you people are harping on a word. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And that's when I just like basically got off of Twitter, dude. I'm like, they're nuts, man. And there's no repercussions for these people, but they go and they like freaking attack my book during its release week. I about lost my mind. 3 years of work. So that's why I'm advertising the book here on my damn streams now. I figure why not? After all this time, I finally said, you know what? Let's put this to work. Fine, I'll advertise my book. Maybe some people will read it. Unbelievable. This is the world we live in now where, again, I keep telling people, eventually we're going to get to a point where you can't even find musicians and artists anymore. We're all been starved to death, and we're all either that or we've been smart enough to say to our kids, no, you're not going down this road professionally. You go do this job over here. Don't you dare become a professional musician or artist. Twitter's a cesspool of people that think they're going to change the world and never will. The worst among them is Elon himself. Elon's just profiteering. Elon sells a bunch of grandiose lies. He's an autistic genius. People don't understand this. He's autistic. So he's going to keep feeding people bull crap all the time. He means well, but he can't. He has an issue separating fantasy from reality. So he has all these grandiose ideas, and some of them are very damn dangerous. You know, chips in the head and all this other stuff. So, I don't know. I don't think he's a bad guy, but I don't think he's this hero that everybody's making him out to be. I think that it's dangerous territory. So, we'll see what happens with social media under his reign. Although I have to admit, it would be amusing if he was able to buy up some of these licenses. Like if he was able to buy up Disney or Dungeons and Dragons, that would be hilarious. Because he probably would actually do some good for some of that stuff. Falsified hard science is a big industry. Oh yeah, you're right, 100%. A lot of things that people think are true are just theories, but they're being taught as being the law in university level and everything else. It's been going on for too long. He actually probably did some good for X. But now it's turning around the same thing. Censorship is ratcheting up. Certain groups are being attacked while others are being let to do their thing. It's the same underbelly of controllers are seeping back into the bloodstream at Twitch. Not Twitch, I'm sorry. Well, some at Twitch, of course, but at Twitter. So, yeah, it is what it is. Well, anyway, before I go down this rabbit hole, I better get going. Thanks for hanging out, Bez, and maybe I'll see you later. Probably be an hour or two before I get on with Elden Ring, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Like I say, I'm going to approach it differently. I'm just going to be more of exploration and picking my fights wisely and trying to get some better gear, and then revisiting that one boss that I was getting annihilated by and seeing if I can't kill him. Just being smart about it and trying to approach it more like a classic RPG Skyrim type game as opposed to a Souls-like. And I think I'll have more fun with it that way. Oh, that's the link. All right, I'll check that out. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're catching this on the YouTube, feel free to leave comments and subscribe, follow, whatever you feel like. I'm Dr. Sax. I hope to see you again very soon.